What's going on, people? Good morning and welcome to a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not going to lie. This is game day. This is Flexing KG show. This is transfer view. This is everything. This is a little bit of everything. Like we said at the back end of yesterday's show on the full view, today is going to be a madness. You've got content literally from 9:01 all the way through till like 11 p.m. midnight. That's just what it's going to be today. We got a lot to talk about. KG's on time. He's on time. I have to give him his props. He was early. There were a few technicals where he didn't have the right things plugged in, had to change laptops, change the wires round.
And blamed everyone else.
And blame everyone else. It weren't perfect. I'm not going to lie. But
it just lets you know how early I was.
For trying. Yeah, 100%.
It lets you know how early I was because we got through all the stuff that we need to get through. But again, Ten Hag says good is not good enough. And you have to strive for more. And I look at what's the quote again? Flex. I look all my players in the eye.
Do you know what? Yeah, we're gonna have to go back. I know Owen's gonna be able to do this, but just get that 100% quote. And I swear to you, I'm gonna laminate it and put it in the studio or put it in a frame. I want that quote. I want it somewhere. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We got a lot to talk about in this show. We're gonna talk about Joao Felix alternatives. Are Man United walking away from Joao Felix? They're walking away. Kolo Muani bid 60 million. Kolo Muani bid ? We ain't got no peas, but we're gonna get to that. Sancho returns back at Carrington as well. We're gonna talk about what that's gonna look like. And Glazer's in Qatar. Avram Glazer out there in Qatar. I'm going to be on the phone to a few contacts I've got. I need to know his movements. We need to know his movements. We need to see what he's on. Is that even really Qatar as well? We need to know what's going on there. So we're going to discuss that a little bit later. But Owen, straight to the top of the news. What have we got regarding Joao Felix? What's the latest, man?
Yes, this comes from the Telegraph, James Ducker specifically, saying that Manchester United are looking at alternatives to Joao Felix, with Atletico Madrid demanding at least double what the club are prepared to pay to loan him for the remainder of the season. United were informed of the total cost of the deal for Joao Felix, but they backed away on the basis of a loan fee around £13.3 million, more than double the figure that Manchester United had in mind. Now, when it comes to alternatives, one name that has been put out there or pondered by the Times, specifically Paul Joyce and Charlotte Ducker, is saying Olivier Giroud is a player Manchester United had on their radar, but the striker is expecting a new contract offer from AC Milan. His deal expires at the end of the season, and Milan could offer him a new deal or new terms, which he would consider. But KG, Joao Felix, how confident are you at this point? Is that one going to happen? You get him? And if not, Olivier Giroud, what would you do with that?
I hate the 20 million thing that they mentioned before. I think that's out of order. I think that's a player.
It's out of order.
It is. It's a player. It's literally like a player that you could pick up somewhere. And the fact that you can say you can have this for 20 million when we don't have any money to have this for 6 months and it goes. I think this is like proper Woodward. This is a Woodward special burning through cash. Yeah, we don't want to. This one definitely not. This is a no from me on Dragon's Den. What and it's like
I'm out.
I'm out.
I just like KG's negotiations are going. We're looking for about 20 million euros for a loan fee. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm out. And then they go, who is this guy? Who is he? He goes,
he's even a dragon.
No, but then
who are you? I'm Boykev. Green shirt. It's green like a dragon.
I know, but definitely like for this one, and I'm a big Joao Felix fan, but not for that price. I think in the end he probably end up getting to Arsenal. Everything kind of sways towards Arsenal in terms of he wants to start, he wants to be an immediate star. I was listening to Fabrizio Romano talk about him and stuff, and he's gonna want to play. He's gonna want to play games. So I can't imagine him coming to Man United as it stands. And I think Arsenal are going to just be ahead of us when it comes to doing deals because we're the last to move. So I think once they find out that he's odds on going to Arsenal, that's when Man United turn up with the cash and it'll be too late as always. So yeah, I think it's the alternatives. Yeah, I'm not excited about Joao Felix and I really wanted him, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, neither do I. It's just too much unless there's a dramatic. Because what David Ornstein was saying is that it isn't just Manchester. This was yesterday, though. It isn't just Manchester United that are saying that it's too much money. He's saying that nobody's basically bitten at that price. So it's going to have to drastically come down. So basically watch this space, because as the window goes on, if everybody kind of doesn't go for it, then they're going to kind of show the hand of Atleti, and they're going to go, right, okay, so about that light 20. Boy, we could do it for 8, you know, we could do it for 9 if you're on it. I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean? One of them. Because they obviously want to move him on. Do you know what I mean? This isn't like a player that they're desperately trying to keep. This is a player that's actually available. So to be fair to the clubs involved, wherever he goes, whether it's Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, or somewhere else, they all probably are going to go, you know what? Let's just wait. Maybe even like a deadline day or last week or something.
But I feel like that's what I'm saying. I feel like everyone else is going to move before us to make that happen. I think Arsenal will still be asking questions. Man United, just in transfer business, we're just slow to move. We're really slow to react. Even the Malacia deal, it's only because there was some level of relationship there that we was able to get in. But if we identify this player as someone that we really liked, why did it almost take him for almost agree with another club?
Yeah, but with this case, he's way too much money now, so we just can't be around there. Like,
I know, I understand.
If it goes down, then it might just come back and say, "Oh, what, 9 million? All right, we'll go in or whatever," because we can't entertain that price now at all. I don't.
Owen, do you have much faith that Man United are gonna check in with and just be checking around to see what Joao Felix is up to or what his agent is saying in terms of value and stuff?
No, I've said, but I've kind of resigned myself that I don't think we're going to do any business in January. I really don't, unless, to your point, the Joao Felix thing dramatically came down, and I mean dramatically, then maybe. But to your point, like 20 million, that's a player. You buy a player for that. And to your point also, we're slow when we've got money, let alone when we don't. If we're penny pinching, you know, let's be honest,
true.
It's not going to happen. So it feels like to me anyway, the reports that we've got, having heard what like a George Mendes sort of transfer saga is a bit like with the Ronaldo stuff earlier this year, it does have the sort of whiff of George Mendes sort of putting it out there a lot, going, he wants to go to the Premier League. He's going to go to Premier League clubs. He's fancying the Premier League club. They're open to negotiate with Premier League clubs. He's going to go out on loan. Yeah, he'll go out on loan. It feels a bit like that. And I think, to your point, it's just a case of when is a team going to bite? Basically, when is the team going to bite at the end? Is it going to get to the point whereby, and this happens all the time in January, someone gets injured, or, you know, a big run of games come up and there's a suspension, whatever, and then a team might panic and go, okay, we'll take him on loan because we're desperate. But even if it happened to United, I just financially, I don't even think we're in the position of, if Anthony Martial got injured and he was out for, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever. Even then, I don't think I think United would still go. They still go. We don't have the money to do it.
100%.
It would be another alternative. So I just, unless it comes dramatically down, I don't know. I think more likely is something like a Marcus Thuram or something like that, where it is like his contract's expiring in the summer. It will cost you like 10 million plus you've got him then for the foreseeable future. It might be something like that. But apart from that, I've really, after the Cody Gakpo thing, and that was really a true indicator of how much money we don't have, especially when you look at the financials that were released in, when was it, November, December. You just go, well, we don't have any money. Like Cody Gakpo, usually, if it was any other time, that would be a slam dunk for Man United. 37 million. It's not that much. He wanted to come to the club to be able to do. And if United are walking away from the table for that, because they're going, we don't have the money, then we just don't have the money really for anything.
We're broke. A player that wanted, he expressed his desire to join Man United. You know, Liverpool fans, they still have to deal with that. End of the day, he wanted to come here and he voiced it plenty of times. Yes, he's ended up at Liverpool, but with strongly touting United. So if Man United can't even bring in a player that wants to be here, it tells you everything about the financials, you know. So that's why I haven't even been, when we talk about players coming in, I've been kind of like relaxed on it in terms of I hope for the surprise, but I'm not expecting.
I agree. I agree with Carl.
What about Giroud, though? What about Giroud? Olivier Giroud, he's got 6 months left on his deal to the end of the season. And again, it'd be a similar situation to a Thuram, obviously much older player, much more experienced player. Would you take it?
Yes.
But that would mean you'd be signing him. You wouldn't be signing him to the end of the season. You'd be signing him, say, 18 month contract. Would you give that to Olivier Giroud?
Yeah. Especially if you get Giroud and you have new owners and stuff, you're not really worried about that, because then you're in that we got money to spend, we got money to burn. Giroud's there, and again, what Giroud would offer us is it'll be an option off the bench, and it'll be someone that understands that he's going to be rotated, right? And then end of the day, he might even have things that he could offer the manager in terms of back to goal, and he's dangerous. Let's be fair about things. It's not like he's not a rubbish striker. Probably like we're light. If we're in the bargain basement, that's a decent. I'm not saying that if I had all the money in the world, I'm going to buy Giroud. I'm talking about where we stand right now and what we're able to get. He's the best of a bad bunch in a. To be honest, he's a good player.
I say poll in the chat, Josh. See what the chat says, because I can already see it's quite. Some people saying getting him in. Some people saying no, he's too old. Some people saying you're going for older players again. It's another stopgap. But we're in a stopgap, to KG's point, a stopgap situation.
No money.
We are.
We got no money.
We never want to be, and we keep ending up in these.
As a player that could hold up the ball, though, Ten Hag going, I want a player that can play back to God, can hold up the ball. Giroud can do that.
Is he upgrade over then? Is he better than Arnautovic? Because that was a serious signing that was going to get, and only because of his off the field activities is why we didn't sign him. Is he an upgrade to Arnautovic?
They're different players. I mean, Arnautovic, plays up front, but Arnautovic. How old was Arnautovic at this point? Was he 33?
Probably about 33, maybe something.
33. And how old is Giroud? 34, 35? Maybe a bit older than
Giroud,
sure.
If we sign Giroud now,
he's better than Arnautovic.
Yeah, he's definitely better than Arnautovic. If we sign a Giroud, that would be like a you see, like Newcastle getting the Chris Wood, where it's like we'll just get him now. Then, like, as soon as the next window came, they were like, right, let's bang down the 60+ M's on Isak. Like, that's going to be the one. But like, let's just get, they were in a relegation battle, and they went, let's get Chris Wood from Burnley, who was actually a relegation rival at the time. Let's get him just to carry us through to the summer. Then we'll go big. And like, obviously now
next season on the bench, you'd be like,
but that's what I'm saying, because
you go Giroud on
now
bench.
They had injuries then to Isak, then Callum Wilson, and Chris Wood's been playing. So it's like, it ain't been great, but like, do you know what I mean? And then obviously Giroud's way better than Chris Wood. So it's like, I see the thinking, if it's mad cheap, because then
it makes sense,
season,
guys. It's a no-brainer.
Think about if you're Olivier Giroud, and Man United come in, it's like you go back to the top-ish, like around a big club again. So you're staying at a fairly decent level. If everything goes, I'm thinking of it like that. He's like, right, on the way out after Arsenal, kind of done the AC Milan thing, done the World Cup. I've done Chelsea.
He won trophies at Chelsea, won the league at AC Milan, won the World Cup.
Won the World Cup. It's like, right, I'm just star-studded. I'm France's all-time top goal scorer. I can go back to the Premier League and compete. Like
winning mentality.
Yeah, I if it was Giroud, he'd lap it up. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, he could do what Ronaldo did and Josh said. Which is accept a role that's like, I'm just here on the bench. I'm in my last 18 months. I don't know where my next big contract's going to come from. Man United have come, giving me a little 18 month. Let me just, let's do that. That's going to be nice, P. That's going to be England. That's nice. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, it all depends on then if the owners come in and then you do have them P's and everything's okay. Otherwise, if we give him the wrong type of contract and the owner thing's still bubbling on, Drew could
it won't
for the next couple of years if we're not careful.
No, but that's
a problem.
That's being proper negative about the situation. The Glazers are going, There's no more money. They again, like, when you look at the well's dried up, bro. There's nothing. It hurts them more than it hurts us to not get dividends.
Just quickly, bruv says, we need a mobile forward, not a brick Nokia phone.
I hear it, but we got mobile. We got players that can get forward and get around him.
It doesn't matter about mobile phones. We ain't got any cell service at Old Trafford. There's no signal. It doesn't matter which one we have, man. It doesn't matter. The poll, by the way, is really close. It's like nearly 250 votes. It's 52% say yes, 48% say no. So it is quite 50-50.
Let me see if I can work on that. Let me see if I can like change their minds and stuff. But look at these things right now. The well's dry. We haven't got nothing in. We need a player. Martial at some point potentially will go down. We need a player that can play back to goal, that's going to respect his role if he is on the bench, but can come in and be a force, come in and help the team. Again, for the price. By the time we get to summer, new owners will have money to spend, and then we go on a spending spree. But he's a good player to have around who's won stuff. And again, you add him to a team and you start to say to yourself, well, there's a lot of winners there. Yes, he hasn't won the kind of cups that we're interested in right now, but he's won more than our current players have. So it goes to show he would be like good experience for the dressing room. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Well, that's the question there, though. Someone put it there. Jared C put it there, and I think that's another poll. To be fair, Memphis Depay for short money,
Hell
or Giroud. So you're saying hell no on Memphis Depay? You're saying
I just don't want I don't want the, like, no disrespect, but the music videos and that, I don't want that. Like, I just want us to go in another way, unless he's gonna. And I can't tell someone to change his whole character in it. But we're a bit more serious. Like, it's not that Lingard Beans thingy era. It's like it's 10.
I kind of get why you're saying that. Yeah, but maybe 10 probably would say that.
It's just I want a player just focused on. Don't get me wrong. There's a time when I probably would have, but we've gone back before and it hasn't worked. So I kind of would like just something different.
They're calling you KG Souness. They're saying that you're a little bit like don't like players.
Well, what's Memphis Depay doing here? No, I think I'd have Giroud over Depay. I would. I think that Giroud last season at AC Milan won their first league title in 11 years. It's around the same kind of time it is at Man United. That's all I'm saying. Could work in 10-year cycles. Isn't that right, KG?
Jesus Christ.
That's what
listen, don't get me started.
Hey, KJ, we're a striker away. That's my question.
I said we're a striker away.
And what is Olivier Giroud?
A striker, mate.
Karen Moore says, let me get the super chats out, actually. JP87 says, oh, my days, KG is on time. New Year, boy Kev. 100%. Aminor says, Owen, what is boy Kev's New Year's resolution? What is it, boy Kev?
He's trying to lose weight. He's trying to lose weight again. I spoke to him, and he's trying to lose weight so he can get into the first team. Again, he sees his chances really strong when the club are looking at players like Giroud. So he feels a bit disrespected, actually.
Player late 30s.
All right, cool. Fair enough.
He doesn't like the new chef as well. He doesn't like the new chef.
All right, okay. He wants to change
too much good stuff.
All right, cool. Keegan says, without sales,
but wants to lose weight.
Expect nothing. Expect nothing without sales. Tifala G says the best show around. Happy New Year. And Karen Moore says that Giroud is older than Cavani. Why didn't we just keep him? Cavani
doesn't want to play anymore for us.
And he just injured all the time.
Yeah, Giroud's fitness record's actually pretty good. He doesn't get hurt that much at all.
He's solid. And Pritish says, if we sign Giroud, can we play Bruno in that Griezmann role and Rashford in the Mbappe role with Giroud like they do for France? I mean, wishful thinking. I mean, if it all came together. The poll again, if we go back to it, 54% saying yes, and 46% saying no. And JP87 says, "Boy Kev laughs the clap. He laughs the clap. He laughs."
Todd Bowley.
Like just saying the Todd Bowley thing for no reason. It's no reason.
It's just something that you just had to. I love watching from Brazil, bro.
Yeah, he is. He
loves the club, so he can't go anywhere.
This one I think isn't gonna take too much time. Kolo Muani bid, but before we get into that, make sure you guys smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Remember, you can join the members club. The link is in the video description below. So if you want to do that, let's do that. What likes are we on? We are on 119 likes, and we're at nearly 1,100 people watching.
You are an absolute price. You're a cheat.
Need we say any more? Need we say any more?
In the, what do you call it? Someone said in the free seats, what about Bobby Firmino? Hell no. Simple as that. Just want to clear it up.
Liverpool, don't like him.
Don't want to clear it up. Yeah. Hell no.
Okay. But I would take him though.
No.
Why not?
Nah.
Oh, you take Bobby Firmino.
You know when you got, remember, was Josh was surprised about the Giroud thing, right? And I was like, well, the Arsenal stench is off him, innit? He's gone Chelsea, he's gone to AC Milan. It's cool. Nah.
Yeah, it would feel hella weird. Owen, would you take Bobby Firmino?
We're not even in reality anymore, guys. What we do?
Yeah, of course not. Yeah,
not in reality. This is
but if
it's a question.
Just a question.
Yeah, but it's a silly question.
But just give us a silly answer then.
He's going to take you as
a silly answer. Oh yeah, he's going to come here and we're going to win the league. There's a silly answer for you. It's silly. No.
Okay, yeah. All right, guys.
No.
Owen's being passive aggressive to us. We're just putting a hypothetical.
Says Jurgen Fleck.
Oh, there he is. He's gone for it.
The irony of Fleck being passive aggressive, whilst he's saying Owen's being passive aggressive. By the way, Owen's being passive aggressive.
Guys, we've got a live one. He's gone for it straight
There
away.
is a video, and it'll be coming on a future episode of UV Raw, where Flex drove us to the wrong part of Manchester for the Football Content Awards,
Thank
and
you.
he got very Jurgen Fleck. He was blaming
Yeah,
technology.
Yeah.
It was the wrong hyperlink. It was the wrong hyperlink that was sent to me.
Guys, this is a bit of a track record now. I think once you can give someone a buy, when it's twice, it becomes a habit. This happened with Owen in another show. I think it could have been yesterday or the day before. Very aggressive at hypotheticals, very on the front foot, you know, very combative. So yeah, I think we're starting to see a little bit of a personality trait, guys. Yeah, he's attacked me a couple of times now with a couple of hypotheticals, you know, and it's getting a little bit. The community
These hypothetical attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, this is hypothetical. What if he attacked me for real? This, you know, I can see, you know, fam chat says Owen needs to chill. You know, this is it. The community are seeing what we're talking about. So and KG has now seen it for his, you know, KG was like, it's just a question. He shot you down, KG. He shot you down. This is what he does. This is what he does. But speaking of Owen, what's our next story? What we got?
Well, it doesn't have nothing to be said. It's a hypothetical story anyway, isn't it? And the worst thing is, it is kind of a hypothetical story. Yeah. It comes from L'Equipe saying that Manchester United are preparing a €60 million offer for Eintracht Frankfurt forward Kolo Muani. So what we're saying here is, guys, to get hypothetical, we're saying that we can't afford, 20 million package for Joao Felix on loan. Where on earth is €60 million going to come from for Kolo Muani, who was good at the World Cup? He was very good when he came on, especially in the World Cup final. But this is one of those stories where it's not happening. Like, it's just...
Yeah, it's lies. We made it up. You know that thing? You know that video? We made it up. It's false.
Fake. It's fake.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It just, if there was anything so far away from what we could actually do, it's just impossible. €60 million as well. It's not even like it's a light change. We can't.
Can I ask the question then? Because I watched the press conference. I watched the embargo.
Yeah, just don't ask it to Owen because he might not like it. But you ask it to me, I'll be
How aggressive is that? It's disgrace. It's true.
So what do you call it? I watched the embargo press conference, and it spoke about bringing back Ahmad, and I just felt bad because it could be a situation if Man United don't do their business, Ahmad could return, and I kind of feel like
he won't.
That would be a bit harsh. What if Man United don't do? No, he kind of said that if they'll look at every situation. Again, he's hoping for a signing. We got a manager. He doesn't want to go out and say, "I'll bring back Ahmad," because the Glazers are like, "Yeah, bring him back then." You know what I mean? So he has to be very tentative on that. But then he's light up front.
He won't do that.
I think it'll be a shame if he does come back. I think he needs to play out the whole season then, see how it goes.
Yeah,
and if he's ready for man football. But I just see that it could slow down his progression if he does come back. But I think it's something that they might look at. I honestly believe that if no one comes in, you see Ahmad for cool. Yeah, honestly, we're light. We're really light up front.
Yeah, we are light, but I think in the way Eric Ten Hag moves, I know I did watch the same thing you did, and I know he was kind of saying like, you know, I did think about this or whatever, but he also backs it up with, you know, the development of him and how important it is for him to be challenging the first team if he is to come back and stuff like that. And he's only just found his level of, you know what I mean, continuity, and he's beefing up as a man. Do you know what I'm saying? Mentally as well, playing in the championship games every 3 days. I mean, Alvaro Fernandez was talking about how good it is playing in the EFL as well. And I don't know. I just think that Eric Ten Hag would just leave him there and look at that in the sun. I think he'd rather just go with what we've got of the players who have been part of the group continuously, understanding the tactics, what the demands are, everything, than try and bring in a young kid as well, which he is. When he's already got Garnacho burst through into that, does he want another young, inexperienced kid in and around that in the high pressure stakes of the season, away to Barcelona, big gate? Like, I can't see that.
I don't think he's got any issues with playing young players though. So if it's high pressing, he'll move Rashford into the 9 position, and he'll just have other people playing on the wings. I think if worst case work, that's what will happen.
When we signed Ahmad, people forget, like, we signed him, I think he played like maybe 1 or 2 senior games. Like, all of his football came at under 23 level.
Way behind
at Atalanta. So he's, if anything,
the Champions League for Atalanta,
but that was like 1 game. Like, that was one of his only senior games for the club. Like, at that point, you know, you would actually say, well, when he came to United, it almost stifled his development somewhat because he wasn't. It almost have been better for him to stay at Atalanta for an next season, actually play
100%.
and play those just play a few games in Serie A and stuff like that. Men's games, exactly. So he hasn't played those games for a couple of years at United. So I suppose that's why it's so important that he plays those games for Sunderland, and he is doing very well. And it's funny because people see how he's doing at Sunderland, and we're almost like shocked by it, going, "Oh, he's doing really well." But at the same time, there must have been something for United to see to bring him to the club, right? You know, especially him not playing any. Come on, KG.
Wait, hold on. We talking about Man United doing like sensible things.
All I'm saying is, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm
all I'm saying is I don't know what I'm saying.
But my point being is, when our players go out on loan, if they do, and maybe it's because they rarely do really, really well. But when they do, so surprising. Like there's something there. Clearly, you know, it's clear. And what Ten Hag has said, he just doesn't look suited for men's football. I saw that in the summer. So he needs to
he needs a whole year just play, man.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, Ahmad has. And I'm looking at the progress. We're all seeing it online. And actually, I spoke to a Sunderland fan yesterday at Sky. He's an avid Sunderland fan. He was like, "Oh my God, that boy, he's unbelievable. I hope we can keep him." And I said to him, I actually said, "Oh, do you think he's good enough to like come back at Man United?" He goes, "I don't think he's good enough for like Man United level, but definitely like, you know, in the Prem, you know, like mid-table or stuff like that." He was saying that, and I'm not saying that means that's it. I've written him off because of that one thing, but it was just interesting to hear that. Like even as a Sunderland fan, he was gassed about him. But yeah, and look, he's been wicked. Like you're looking at the highlights, you're looking at the games he's been playing. He has been really good. But as we know, that does not mean that you're ready. That does not mean that you're good enough for Man United. It does not mean you're going to make it. It means that you've gone out and you've responded well to a loan. And then the next stage of your development is a discussion about where next. Can you push the first team? Can you challenge for a spot on the bench, by the way? Because you know how good you actually have to be to even train with the first team, like even be in and around it. Like we forget that. Like these are a lot of youngsters about, you know, on first team benches who don't get a sniff of minutes like in the actual games because it is such a step up. Now we've seen Chong running riot under 23s, taking the absolute mick. People like Dylan Levitt taking the absolute mick in under 23s. Under freeze. And he probably was back then. Hannibal, Charlie McNeil. Hannibal used to take. How many clips did we used to see back in the day? Well, let's say back in the day, a couple of years ago, of like on Twitter, it would be like Hannibal picking up the ball on the half turn, running past about 3 or 4 men, bouncing it off Chong. 2 guys with just mad hair, just taking the piss out the whole resis. And you're like, right, these guys are ready. We've seen them come in. Like they're just not there yet. And that's no disrespect. They're just not there.
That's why Ten Hag's taken over the reserves as well, isn't it? That's why Ten Hag's taken over the reserve under 23 team. When he said that he apparently was
KG
like
doesn't know.
his...
Look at his face. Look at his face.
So KG, basically, there was a story that came out about 48 hours ago.
He's gonna love this.
Essentially one of like the big requirements when Ten Hag took over when he was negotiating with United is I want full control over all the teams, and basically now he oversees everything and to a much more stricter degree he does than was previously there with the reserve team. You know, like previously the under 23s just kind of do their own thing and the under 23 manager sort of just checks in with the managers if say, this is how we did this week, this is how this player's doing. Eric Ten Hag wants to see everything, every single match, every single training session. You know, to his point, he wants to take what he determined as the Ajax philosophy of just I oversee everything. I see everything. I'll find the quotes.
The guy is,
if you read him the quotes, he's gonna love him even more. Because I read it and I was like, oh, I'm a manager, man.
You know what? No, because you see him in the shadows at the games. He's just there by himself, but he just lets you know the man's obsessed. They're talking about New Year's resolutions. I watched an interview today. He's talking about his New Year's resolutions. He's just talking about trophies. He goes, yeah, well, family and that, but trophies. I was like, hold on.
Family and that.
He mentioned his family, but he goes, trophies. He goes, you know what? We can't, it's too soon to start talking about trophies. It's game by game. But trophies is what I'm on. And he just makes you think the guy, he's just so obsessed, and that has to come. That's a byproduct of being this obsessed and this on point and hitting these levels is silverware. You know, so I really hope that again the I don't know what it's Carabao Capital One, whatever they're calling it.
I was just about to say that. Even I hope we go full strength against Charlton and just, you know what I mean? Like, no, obviously, yeah, you got to rotate a little bit here or there. Varane might need a little rest or whatever. But like, I just want even a Carabao Cup in his first season just to kind of kickstart a bit of mentality. And especially when the Carabao Cup final is, which is like what, February usually, it gives you that. If you can win that, especially with this crop of players and this new manager within the space of a year, that would be a nice little catalyst to go and push hard towards the end of the season and try and do something, you know.
So I've just found the story for KG's purpose.
Thank
so
you.
this was on New Year's Eve. So it said
New Year's Eve. It's not the 3rd of January and he doesn't know.
I was in the retreat, guys.
Oh yeah,
he was without any kind of internet. It says Erik ten Hag has taken charge of Manchester United's under-21s team in a bid to open up a better pathway into his senior side. There's quite a few quotes from Ten Hag, who says, "For me, cooperation between all the different departments is crucial to get the right culture in the club. When I entered Manchester United, the reserve team was isolated. It was no longer really part of the academy, but it wasn't part of the first team either. I changed that immediately, just as I did when I entered Amsterdam. At Ajax, the reserve team came under my responsibility of the manager. That was the only way I could have influence on the flow of young, talented players towards the first team. Of course, I still give the coaches freedom to work, but I also give them direction by saying, for example, I want that player to start making minutes in that position. The final responsibility lies with me about how the second team performs and how the flow of players that goes from the reserve team into the first team." So basically, essentially, Erik ten Hag's picking the team. Essentially, he's going, I want that player to play there. That player plays there, you know, and again, it becomes a better pipeline of talent, basically.
Oh man, it's looking. I'm telling you, the project at Man United is looking ever so. It looks good. It looks good, and if you can take some of the good things that they do at like from Ajax, again, me and you're talking about mindset. Yeah, we couldn't believe Flex when we went to watch that game, and then this is 1-0. We're about to win the league, so the stadium is packed. Yeah, there's like a kid. He's got to be a youth prospect. Yeah. He does kick-ups from when players all the way to the announcement. I think he was doing kick-ups for like a strong 15 minutes.
Yeah, he was about 8. He was about 8, yeah.
8 years old, and the stadium was packed. Music playing. He's just doing his kick-ups. All the other youngsters were just watching him like thinking, "Rah, this is a big moment." As soon as he finished it, they all ran around him. It was a big celebration. I said to myself, I don't even think we got senior pros that are going to be able to do kick-ups for that long. But it's just focus, mindset. You know, I need everyone locked in, and it sends the right messages being sent. I like it. I like where this manager's going. We got the best one.
Just on this, Zio in the free seat says, "Music to my ears, but also embarrassing that such a system was not in place." And it's so funny that he says that, because it's weird, because if you're outside looking in at us as fans of what we're really happy about at other clubs, say this like a Man City fan was watching this, or a Liverpool fan, or an Ajax fan, or whatever, they would say, "Look at this, that's Man United. They're happy that basically their first team and their academy is aligned." Like, that's the basics. Like, this is Man United. They're happy that players are being held accountable for coming late on the bus. Yeah, like, but we shouldn't not celebrate those things because we were so far removed from that. And it is true. It's exactly what he said. It's brilliant. Thank you for that comment. It's brilliant that these things are in place, but it is like indicative of just how bad this club was rotten, from a leaking roof right down to who even runs the reserves. Like, we
were celebrating pressing on when we were playing Wolves. There was a coordinated press, and we were going, look at that. The press has been triggered by certain positions. People are like, I can't believe it.
I know. It's insane. Let me get these super chats out. Actually, just before we do get the super chats out, so just quickly, KG, that makes kind of a bit of sense to me because you didn't know that information. Does that change your perception of the Ahmad situation now you know that? Do you think that now he wouldn't do that, or do you still think no? I think
he'll still do it if he worst case scenario. Okay. I think he'll still come in.
All right, cool. VK says, I just joined for the best Man United show on YouTube. Big up to VK. Always in the chat, always sending super chats, always getting involved in the shows. A long time subscriber and watcher of the United View. Big up to you. Karen Moore, Owen is too dangerous. He knows where the bodies are buried.
He does.
Very true. Very true. Lil Yo-Yo says, how are we signing Randall from recess? Makes 0 sense.
Or Miss Finster.
Saying that's what he looks like. True. Casper, been a member of the UV crew for 6 months. We lost the right to negotiate Felix's price when we paid 30 million more for Anthony than he was worth at the time. Get him in. Wow.
Who told you that? Nah, that's a crackhead, bro. What the hell? For 20 months? But what? For 6 months? 20 million? Come on, bro.
Yeah, we can't.
That's daylight robbery. Like, you might as well go and do deals with Del Boy and Rodney, fam. And
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
You can't bring up only fools and horses. You can't bring only fools and horses.
I have you know, they are successful businessmen, bro. Trotter's independent trading company, bro. They got to millionaires, bro. They got to millionaires from nothing.
The knowledge.
From the streets.
Hey, who's going to do the deal? Trigger, bro. Who's gonna do the deal? Trigger. Who's gonna?
That's what Old Trafford's like. Old Trafford's like Trigger's brush or whatever. Trigger's broom, innit? Just going. It's been here since this date. It goes. Seats are different. Yeah, seats are different. Roof's different. Yeah, roof's got to be fixed. Yeah,
guys,
it's a different brush, but same brush.
If you mention only fools and horses, it has to be with sheer dignity and respect only. I won't have any negativity put onto that. Yeah, that's the first thing I will say.
Is it true, Flex?
Yes.
I don't know if you told me this before. Do you have an Only Fools and Horses dressing gown?
I do. Would you like me to get it?
Go ahead. As well. While he's doing that, me and you can talk about.
Yeah. I said Flex once. Once he gets it, I'll set it up as well because I was going like, "Oh, what do you like to do on your time off?" He goes, "Sometimes I just put on my Only Fools and Horses dressing gown and I watch Only Fools and Horses." I went, "Oh, okay, fair enough."
Well, since we're talking about returns and stuff, and he's coming back, let's talk about.
Sorry, guys. Just quickly, obviously, I'm on a green screen, so the yellow's not really going to show up, obviously. So here's the back. Trotter's independent trading company. I don't know if you can see that. And obviously, officially,
they got the
officially licensed merchandise as well. It's not a snide, it's real, yeah. And obviously, yeah, you know Del Boy's wicked jacket. Obviously, you do it up. It's got all the white markings on it. It's the proper thing. It's the proper thing. So yeah, that's what I'm on.
You are not.
I'm on.
You're cheap.
I'm on.
He's got the proper. Hey, listen, let's talk about it though.
I don't know.
I was talking about returns. I tried to do a nice little segue there. You returned with the nice little dressing gown. Sancho's back at Carrington. What do you think about everybody?
Jadon Sancho is back at Carrington. So he was pictured arriving at Carrington yesterday as he returns to Manchester United after his spell in Holland. The player, according to Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail, will follow an individual training program before he is considered for selection again. So once again, no real timetable on his return to action or his return to really training with the first team squad. At the moment, it's still just an individual training program once again. Flex, why you've got your hand on your head?
Nessie, member of the UV community, says, as an American, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You are an absolute disgrace.
Well, look, this is how we feel whenever we bring up anything, you know, Marvel or superhero or whatever related.
Yeah, but Nessie, they're like films that make believe. They're like little things, CGI. All that shit.
Only Fools and Horses is a fiction. That's not.
Bro,
you weren't watching a reality show. You weren't watching a documentary.
Oh, and there's man out there hustling on the market.
Wait. In the heart of Peckham, you're trying to tell me, Joe? Yeah, with the drill man and the new vegans.
You know what? It wasn't filmed in Peckham.
Wait.
The new vegans.
The new vegans, obviously, because it's been gentrified and that, so it's not the same as it used to be.
Sorry.
So when did that era take place?
Well, it was. It was in the late 80s. This is what the man them weren't around. Drill music and that weren't about then.
I know, bro.
It was Migs and it was ska music. Do you know
I know, but I'm saying,
so
obviously.
That's what it is. So it was based off a real story back then, bro. There was mad Del Boys about. That is what it was back then, bro.
That was mad Del Boys about.
There was mad Del Boys about, bro. My grandma, I tell you how I know as well, because having a Caribbean grandma, Jamaican grandma, and actually even if you're African, whatever, they're going down Portobello Road Market, Edgware Road Market, and that, and there's Del Boys. I tell you what, love. I tell you what. I'll chuck in one of these. Off you go. Yeah, I can't say fairer than that, can I? Come on, and all the old days are around, bro.
All of a sudden, you went to like North London, bro. Why did you get to Portobello and all these other areas, fam?
Because it's based off that whole culture. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
It was real. So was it real?
What would it sound like today, KG? What would it sound like today if you went there?
What do you call it? Hummus.
So is it real?
We got some. What?
So is it real then?
Hummus and drill rappers, fam. That's what it'll be right now,
No, I
bro.
can't move on until you say that only fools and horses. Like when it
All
was
right,
that's
Flex,
a real thing.
it's more real
All right,
than
let's do
the Marvel
Sancho. That's fine.
universe.
Cool, that's fine. It is more real than the Marvel universe. Of course it is.
Right. You
Right.
don't
Don't compare it to that. I'm not asking. That's not a
don't
question.
You don't know that, Flex. There could be aliens out there, big purple people on Titan. You don't know that.
I don't even know what Titan is. That's an American football movie.
But
Right,
the
let's keep
Titan's a real moon. It's a moon of Saturn.
Right. Well, I only know Saturn. I don't know no other things.
So it don't exist.
And I know Sega Saturn as well. That's all I know, bro. I don't know no other Saturn.
Sega. All right, let's
You
go.
lot are so immature. It's getting off topic, man. Talk about Sancho for God's sake. Let's go.
All right, can I say? Go on.
He's back. He's back, but we don't know when he's going to be integrated into the first team squad once again. You know, his individual training program. When do you think he is going to be back, KG?
Feb, I think late February. We'll see him in the squad. Hopefully even sooner. You know, again, they need to see how fit he is. What he did out on the one-to-one training that he was doing. I can see him getting part of the group really quickly because the games are coming thick and fast. And if he's told, the manager just needs to say to these players, look, I need you. You need to come in and do a job and stuff. And yes, there shouldn't be incredible pressure on him, but at some point he's going to want to get involved. You know, the player of Sancho's quality is going to be saying to himself, listen, I've got a bit about me, and now's the perfect time to be wanting to fight for your space again. Anthony is while Anthony is in it, I won't say a downturn of form, but he's not scintillating. He's not like, I'll be looking at the right hand side thinking, I could get in. You know what I mean? If I apply myself, there's a chance that I could get in and potentially keep him out the squad. But again, it all comes down to hard work, because one thing that Anthony provides that I say not a lot of our wingers provide is he's going to get back and help the right back. He's going to get involved defensively, you know. And if Sancho, that's where Sancho's let himself down in the past. I just really hope whatever this fitness regime he's gone on, I really hope it helps. I really hope we see a different kind of mindset from him and he's on it. But again, that's my true belief. That's what I really hope.
Yeah, I think he's got a big job on his hands, man. This could be something that we look back on and say it's yet another Ten Hag masterclass, Ten Hag masterstroke, as Marcel says, the Midas touch. You know what I mean? Because with the decisions that Ten Hag's made, looking everyone 100% in the eyes, this would show a massive response, because he said as well that he saw a gradual decline in Jadon Sancho. Because let's not forget, he came here, got Jadon Sancho knocking it about nice, looking crisp in pre-season. We were there, KG. Owen, you watched all the games. You guys in the community probably watched all the games on tour. We left tour going, bloody hell. I tell you what, Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, Martial up front. Bloody hell. I can't believe it. And we all said, we know it's only pre-season, but. And then I think he actually started the season quite well. Scored against Leicester. I know the first two games, everyone started bad, so chuck that out of the way. But won us the game at Leicester. I remember him playing well against Liverpool. Got a really good goal. Didn't he get an assist against Arsenal to set? Or was that Rashford who gave it to Anthony against Arsenal? But he started the move with something. I remember. You know, and we're showing flashes. I think away at Sharif, he scored a really good left-footed shot, one touch and hit. That was a good finish. And you started to see little glimpses to say, you know what, he's coming along nicely. And then I think after that, was it Sharif or one of them? It just started just going down and down and down. Then his starts got less and less and less. Then he came off the bench against Ammonia. I remember won us the game in the last minute, squared it to McTominay. And you're thinking, right, okay, could he start winning his place back? And then he just got worse and worse. I remember at home to Tottenham, I couldn't believe he stayed on the pitch as long as he did. I think it's because of the balance of the team was okay and everyone else was playing well enough, which is again testament to the team that actually we can afford to have like one passenger sometimes because the whole team is working well enough, which we could never afford that before. Then there was the Chelsea away game, which might have been his last start. And honestly, I remember watching it in the studio with you lot, and I was like, he can't wait to run off the pitch quick enough. Like the way he got substituted, it just felt like, wow.
The play stopped and he turned around. He knew. And you could argue, he might have been told, but at the same time, it kind of felt like he turned around going, I know, I want to come off. I want to come off. I don't want to be on the pitch.
Come off. So now it's like it's all on him. Ten Hag has set the challenge. That is it. I think this is really black and white, guys. He's come out in public and said what it is. So there's not going to be bombardment. We know where Sancho is and what he's doing. Now we know he's back at Carrington on an individualized program. He set out the rules, innit? He set out, you're going to do this in Holland for a little bit. Once we check your fitness for that stage and you pass that, you can unlock this level. That's back at Carrington by yourself. You do that for a couple of weeks. You unlock that level. It's first team training. Let me see that you can keep up with everyone in training who's been at it. Unlock that level. You can get on the bench. You can come off the bench. You can start. Like, it's going to be that gradual.
He believes in him, though. He believes in him.
100%. Of course he does. Otherwise, he wouldn't have set this out for him.
Yeah, he says he knows he's got a quality player in there. And it's like, he's just trying to get that out of him. And it's, again, Ten Hag's, it's all about mindset. You know, funny enough, I heard, Shaw approached the manager and said, I can play centre back, you know.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
It was like, and this is the mindset he's looking for. He's like, oh, right. Even when he asked him when he was playing Burnley, and that's a bombardment. That's going to be a game where it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. But then he's thinking, you know what? Yeah, I'll put you in. And then for him to still get the place, it's all about mentality. And now he's giving the manager an option, saying, well, I have to consider you. And what he wants these mentality monsters in his dressing room that are believing in themselves. Now, if a player sees his number called and he's running like, can't wait to get off, mentally, something's not tuned in with where I want to take this club and where you are right now. I've taken you out because I believe his biggest issue was fitness. It was so telling when he got back the latest and he started the sprint first. He lost the ball and everyone got back before him. So he hasn't been in the peak condition.
And this as well, though, I do think it's this
for Germany.
I don't think it's just fitness as well. I think that's one element of it. Of if you want to put in more intensity, basically Ten Hag saying, are you fit enough to even do it? But also, I think he needs to change his dynamic of thinking. I think personally, Jadon Sancho, because there's one thing about, because I've bigged him up before on the types of goals that he has scored. Because if you look at all the goals that he has scored, they've been like linking up with someone coming in off the left, kind of thing. So you can say like the playing style needs to do what it needs to do for him to do well, etc., etc. But then when I put the light back on Sancho and challenge him to improve mentally, I would say, do you have the burning desire to work at high intensity at all times of the games, which is the tick you can give to Anthony when he's misplacing passes or he's not doing well in the last phase of play? Like you said, KG, he's working his ass off to come help the right back. He's working his ass off to try and initiate a press. He's working his ass off to try and make something happen. Even when he gets the ball, he might make the wrong decision, but he's working fast. Do you know what I mean? And I think Jadon Sancho, his default mentality is to kind of go through the gears, silky, nice on the ball, set a man, receive it back, just kind of coast through. And that's not a bad thing, but in this team and with this manager, it is going to be a bad thing. And I think Ten Hag wants that from him as well. So when I see Jadon Sancho return, the biggest thing I'm going to be looking at is not just, is he going to take someone on? This is a Sancho I want to see. It's actually off the ball and just how he moves and what his generic intensity is what I want to because I think the rest can come because he is talented.
Yeah, what I'm uncomfortable with, and I've seen this ever since this really Sancho, let's say, situation has happened. And maybe it's just today's age with, social media, stuff like that. But the amount of just writing him off, guy's finished. He's done. He's not good enough for Man United. It's good. Whoa.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Look at the numbers he put up in the Bundesliga. I get you can say that's not as good as league as the Premier League. But the numbers for a wide player that he was putting up were, especially in his last couple of seasons there, were really, really good. He's still a good player. Yes. Whether it is a mentality thing, whether it's a physical thing, whether it's something going on in his personal life, chances are it's a combination of all of the above, right? Oh. And when that's happening, you do need to take a step back. You do need to go, right, everything needs to stop. I need to start again. I need to address every issue individually. Whether again, it's physically, I need to go get fit. Whether it's time at home, I need to sort that out at home. Whether it's just like I said, he was doing that work in the Netherlands at an amateur club with professional coaches, but it was at an amateur club. Maybe it took a step back to go, actually, wait a minute, I have to realize where I am at Old Trafford. And I need to go back to where it all starts for every football player. And that's right at the very bottom in the amateur leagues. This is where I came from. This is where it starts. Okay. Maybe you need to fall back into level football again. Maybe you
Cleaning your own
send him
boot.
back to Kennington, bruv. Send him back to
Cleaning your
Kennington,
own
bruv, in the
boot.
cages.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. And maybe again, it's just today's age, but it's just like a player is in a bad vein of form. And they're just, they're rubbish. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Look at Marcus Rashford.
Marcus Rashford is
he's a great example. He's a perfect example of that. This time last season, we were all saying, maybe he's reached his ceiling, or maybe he's not good enough. But then look at the player he is now. And it's the point of, you can come back. Yes, you can decline a lot. Yes, you can get in bad form, but there's always a way out of it. And the way out of it is hard work and support from the manager and the fans. And that's ultimately all we can do right now. We can support who is still a Manchester United player in Jadon Sancho. The club is supporting him. The manager clearly is supporting him. And the hope is that he can come back to where, the player we thought we were getting, because we still have not seen anywhere near the best of Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. We still haven't seen it.
No, someone in the free seat said Shaw came back as well, and he's another player that you can think about as well. There's so many players that have really showed up this season. Dalot, I never expected Dalot to have the season that he's having. I feel kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen with Donny. I don't know if Donny is going to get anything like that, or if the time's just done on him. But again, there's a lot of players that you look at now and you say, you know what, I can see the way back. And definitely for Sancho, if he comes back smiling, comes back enjoying his football, I feel we have a good player in there. Again, it was nice to hear the manager, again, a good bit of big man management from Ten Hag. He was talking about Anthony Martial, and I think the media are out to almost prove him wrong in a way with the whole, because he did he favored Martial over Ronaldo, and we have to say on the weekend was probably Martial's worst game. But Ten Hag has backed him. He's come out and said, you know what, it was a bad game. He probably is like a lot of games, hasn't played this much so fast.
Yeah. He expects better in this next game, isn't he? He's sure of it.
Next game, he's sure that he's really backing his players, which is good to see. So let's just hope that Martial scores 2 goals tomorrow.
Yeah,
tonight, mate. Tonight, yeah, it's match day tonight. Here on all of that. Actually, I think that was a good chat about Sancho, of like kind of summing up, the kind of best way to discuss that without kind of like what Owen said, just writing somebody off. You know what I mean? Let me read out these super chats before we move on to the last topic of the day and wrap up. KG, this is from Truck. KG, the dry well will be filled with oil soon. All the best for 2023, guys. And Shoals Music says, UV gang, big up to all of you. Sorry if you've already spoken on this, but thoughts on Thuram. Felix is not a centre forward. Max 10 goals at Atleti per season in 4 years. We did discuss the Thuram thing in another show, actually. About I think it was the last show. But just quickly on that, we were saying, I think the general consensus, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, but was 10 million. If you could get him in, he could play across the front, but he does play up front. And then in the summer, you go stronger again because we've got new owners and a bigger budget. That people wouldn't be against that. Was that the feeling there?
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah. And Lil Yo-Yo says Man United need to contact Flex boy for loan deals. What boy? What? Why? I ain't got anyone.
Oh, it's Dal boy. It's like Fleck boy.
Fleck boy. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, Fleck boy.
Because
I like that.
It's a jacket.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a character coming soon, isn't it? That's a
Fleck
character
boy.
in that jacket.
Fleck boy. In Del Boy's jacket as a dressing gown. And Thesian says, United transfer market sounds like the Sidemen's this or that song. We want Felix, but we will recall Ahmad from loan. Fabrizio has given up on the board as well. And last story of the day, but before we do it, last sort of 5 or 6 minutes of the show, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. How many likes are we on? Just to get a little, we're on 356. I'm at nearly 600 people watching.
You're cheat.
Everyone just hit the like button. Just do it now. Just press it.
Just press it. Glazers in Qatar. Now,
yes, this was a story that was sort of, it broke last night. We do know that Avram Glazer was there during the World Cup, sort of late, mid-December. He was there, and reportedly, whilst the World Cup was going on, he was there to possibly meet with some potential investors or possible people that might have been interested in purchasing the club. Well, a picture started circulating on social media late last night of Avram Glazer I mean, it says he's in Qatar. He's sitting in a chair somewhere, but it says that he was in Doha on December 30th amid all of the takeover speculation. So the takeover speculation continues. I mean, this could be something or it could be absolutely nothing. He might have just been out there.
I think he's just on holiday, mate. End of the day, the Reigns group are supposed to be doing the deal. So it's going to really, I can't see, this guy has not moved to do anything in the past. He's been waiting for his dividends. I don't expect him to move now. Again, if there's going to be something that happens, probably happen via Zoom or something stupid, but he's not going to put work in. The guy is probably just, again, probably getting some free lunches as well, having a few conversations here and there, but he's not going to be doing the negotiations. So I think it's just paper talk. Sorry to people on it.
I've made a few texts.
A haircut. You went out to get a haircut. You wanted to get
just get a little ponytail done.
Take the
made a couple texts. Made a couple texts to some Qataris to find out, have they seen him about? What's going on here? Is that Qatar? Have you seen that chair before? That interior inside the restaurant, wherever he is that in Qatar? So I shall keep people updated on any updates I receive back.
Oh, that's a proper Fabrizio thing.
Yeah, I thought you I sent some messages, but I don't have any answers yet.
Yeah, I only sent them this morning. So time difference, isn't it? Time difference, so it's a bit mad. You know what I mean? People, you know what? Wicked show, wicked show. Good energy. Great topics to discuss as well. And it's match day, man. We keep talking about being excited to see our team play. We're going to see them play tonight. And you know what? In what KG's been saying, I can paint a couple scenarios for you today.
Yeah.
Arsenal play Newcastle at the Emirates at 7:45. We play Bournemouth at the same time, or 15 minutes later, but at the same time. If Arsenal deal with Newcastle, which I think they will, and we beat Bournemouth,
Newcastle only lost once this season.
I know they've only lost once. Maybe I'm just because I just think Arsenal are going to win the league.
Even if it's a draw. Even if it's a draw.
Yeah, even if it's a draw.
Arsenal's going to win the league. You know?
I do think Arsenal are going to win the league. If that happens, we put it this way, we could finish the night in third place. In third place, that's not bad going, is it? That's not bad going. Obviously, our next two games will be City and Arsenal. Very, very difficult. But with Liverpool losing as well, I was looking at, because KG's doing mad things about looking at title races, but I did look at the table after Liverpool lost, just to kind of give myself a bit of perspective and see where I wanted to see where I fit into this, of how to feel. And my thinking compared to KG's was a bit different. I tell you what, we can start putting a little bit of gap between fourth and fifth here. Spurs are slipping off.
Man, that
Liverpool. Yeah, no, I'm being realistic.
That's a shit life.
It's not, because I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
You look down.
No, I'm very happy.
That's terrible.
I'm very happy. I've done a little bit
of
both.
Way to live, man.
No, I've done a little bit of both. It's called balance. I've said today we could be as high as.
You said you looked down the table. You didn't look up.
Nice. I've just said. Well, I must have looked up, because I've just said we could finish third today.
Whatever.
So I must have looked up. Haven't, isn't it?
Whatever. All I'm saying is, bro. Don't be scared of Arsenal. It's Arsenal. Yeah. Start believing. If they are in the title race, we can jump into one ourselves. They said Newcastle's in the title race.
You can't just say that. You can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I totally
you have to earn the right to be in the title. You're acting like you're no, but you're because you hate Arsenal. You're acting like it's just Arsenal. They haven't worked hard to get there. They don't deserve.
No, they worked hard.
They can do it. We can.
Yeah,
you can't say that.
I don't like Arsenal, so it is what it is. So
it's just the way KG just goes. If they're in a tight race, we can just walk in.
We can get in there ourselves. I'm not gonna sit back and just chill with Arsenal at the top of the league and us lot like not involved. We have to enter the chat.
We're not involved.
We will get in the conversation.
What are they, like 11 points ahead of us?
You don't believe that? Yeah, we'll get into the chat. We'll get involved in the conversation.
I swear they're like 11 points.
Listen, we can get.
I haven't even looked, because it's been such a thing that I don't look at. I don't even know.
Bro, that's your business. I'm looking.
About 10 points. 10,
I'm looking.
Points.
11 points.
We got to make sure we're there or thereabouts. That's all I'm saying.
11 points ahead of us, KG.
Yeah, so what?
But you know what's crazy? We're 11 points. They're 11 points ahead of us, but we're 4 points off City in second.
Yeah, exactly.
And then after you get them, when you make
City are 7 points behind.
Once you get second, are you now in the title race?
but we haven't got second.
All right, cool.
Well, I don't know, KG, because in the past, in the last decade, we have finished second, and we
you
were
lot
never
are
in a
afraid of
title race.
Arsenal.
Exactly.
If you
Were
lot
we
wanna-
in a
that is
wait,
were we in a
hold on.
title
That is
race
true.
the last time we
If-
finished second?
If you lot want to
yeah.
be afraid of
Is that
Arsenal,
true?
that's-
KG,
if you
is
lot
that-
want to
Can
be
you answer
afraid
the
of Arsenal,
question?
that's up to
Answer
you.
the
Can
question.
Not on my watch.
All we need
When it was
is
with
a yes
Ollie-
If you
or
lot
no.
listen, if
When
you
it
lot
was with
want to,
Ollie,
if you lot
and when it
want
was
to be
with
sucking off
Jose, and
Arsenal
we
and be
finished
afraid of
second.
them, that's on your. That's up to you.
This is Pete KG. When he knows he's not right, he'll just keep talking.
No, I'm just
right?
saying.
When it's-
I'm just
This
saying
is worse
that
than passive
I
aggressive.
refuse.
This is worse. This is
Yeah.
assault. This
Well,
is
I
assault.
don't.
This is
You
verbal
don't know.
assault.
You don't know how I feel about Arsenal.
When we
I
finished second
refuse,
under
bro.
Jose, and when we finished second under Ollie, and we were off the
Because
top by
Ollie's
like,
rubbish.
20 points.
Ollie's
20
rubbish.
points. And it's happened with Jose as well. Will we
Yeah.
in a title race?
Ollie's rubbish.
Will we in a title race? Yes or no?
No, he wasn't. Ollie's rubbish.
So if Ten Hag gets us in second, but we finish 8 points, 10 points.
No, we're
behind
gonna,
the
we,
front, we're
bro.
in the title race.
Listen, we're gonna be in this title race. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
So
to
what does
you.
that
We're
mean? Does
gonna-
that mean just be second?
We're
Your
gonna
eye?
be in this title race, bro.
So what does that mean? Fighting for the title?
Fighting for the title. It means fighting for the title. The
Well,
world
what's the
title race
points?
means.
What's the minimum maximum amount of points before it becomes like you're not fighting but you're in second?
When it's mathematically, we can't win the league anymore.
Oh, for God's sake! Right, we need to end the show. Okay.
You
Fair
lot
enough.
afraid of no, but deep it. You lot afraid of Arsenal. That's a
There's
disgrace.
nothing to be afraid about, bro. They're
Yeah,
at the top of the
you
league,
lot-
and we're trying to get.
But
fourth.
you lot
That's
afraid.
it.
You don't even want to go there, bro. You don't even want to go to, bro. You don't even want to go to Emirates. You're scared. That's embarrassing, bro. Arsenal.
Are we gonna
You're
beat
gonna
Arsenal?
take that,
Emirates?
Flex. Flex, you're gonna take that. Okay,
That's an embarrassment. I'm more afraid of playing City at home than getting to Arsenal away, bro. I'm ready for Arsenal away. Let's go.
You're gonna take
So
that.
you
Flex.
think we got more chance? We got more chance of
Yeah.
beating Arsenal away than
Yeah.
City at home. That's what you think.
Yes, definitely.
When's the last time? When's the last time we beat Arsenal away?
When was the last time we had Ten Hag in the dugout?
When's
All
the
right.
last time? When
was the last time we had Rafa Varane and Casemiro and what do you call it, firing? When was the last time we had that, mate?
Oh, he's got.
Go on.
We're winning at the Emirates. We're winning at the Emirates.
Nice. Oh, no, we're not. We're not. Why do you have to do that?
I'm not afraid.
Why'd you
I'm
have
not
to do that?
afraid. If you,
No,
you,
definitely.
all you, lot- all you
I'm
Man
doing
United
game by
fans-
game.
All you
Game
Man
by
United
game.
fans can be afraid of Arsenal. I refuse to do it. Not on my watch. Sorry.
Game by game. KG's. To be fair, when it's like this, and we're only talking about Arsenal, because if it was Man City top of the league with all these points, KG wouldn't be saying.
I wouldn't feel
because
this
he
way.
hates Arsenal.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying. It's because it's Arsenal. So I
100%.
get that. I get that. So his thing with Arsenal, you have to just let him. That's his thing. That's his thing. And no
That's
problem.
it. I refuse.
Since we were wrapping up and got into that little bit, there's been a couple more super chats. SK says, not afraid of Arsenal. If you look at who they've played, they've lost to us and played against a bad Liverpool and Chelsea. I think they'll crumble. And Karen Moore says, I'm with KG. If Flex says we aren't in a title race, then we are in one. Hashtag reverse cheats. Do you lot really believe in that, innit? Oh, wow. Okay, anyway. Guys, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And remember today, just as a reminder, it is match day. So you're going to get your road trip probably in a few hours, actually. Me and Josh are going to be setting off to go up to OT and Marcel. So anything can happen in the road trip when he's in there. Everyone was laughing at him saying that.
Get the
it's
booster
like my
seat.
son with a booster
Get the
seat. I
booster
will bring I'll bring a booster
His
seat
legs
for
were
him today.
dangling.
His legs were dangling in the back seat. And then obviously on the live match view, you're going to have these two. There you go, right there. You're going to have these two. Hopefully KG is there and on time, but
I was in a retreat,
It
bro.
concerned
I
me.
was
It
in a
concerned me
retreat.
that he said the game's tomorrow, and I went, "Please show up today, please."
I was in a retreat.
What I'm saying.
I was in
So
a
there you
retreat.
go.
I'll be there.
There you go. And obviously you'll get the reaction from us at the ground as well. So yes, take care. See you later on today. Hopefully with Man United taking 3 points, and hopefully with maybe a draw and Newcastle and Arsenal get
Let's
a draw.
worry
And
about ourselves.
then we can. Oh, but I thought you were looking at them saying.
No, I see the title race, but I'm just saying I'm just focusing on our 3 points.
All right,
We'll deal with Arsenal ourselves.
Here's the 3 points to Man United later on this evening. Peace. We're out.
Ciao.